What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to KO with Kyle. I'm your host, Kyle. Today we'll be recapping the fight night with Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov, as well as forecasting UFC 258, Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. The fight night was a stacked card, and I'm hoping UFC 258 delivers as well, so without any further ado, let's get into it. Starting off the prelims, we had Ode Osborne versus Jerome Rivera at featherweight. Ode caught a head kick and landed a straight left that knocked down Rivera. Ode Osborne won by KO. Next at featherweight, we had Timur Valiev versus Martin Day. Valiev was securing body lock takedowns. He landed several takedowns throughout the rounds. Valiev had a body lock most of round 3. The judges scored a unanimous decision win for Timur Valiev. Next at featherweight, we had Songwoo Choi versus Yusuf Zalal. Choi was outstriking in rounds 1 and 2. Zalal landed a couple takedowns round 3. The judges scored a unanimous decision win for Songwoo Choi. Next at women's flyweight, we had Molly McCann versus Lara Procopio. Procopio was getting the better of the grappling exchanges on the mat. Procopio landed 7 takedowns overall, had ground control and out-grappled. The judges scored a unanimous decision win for Lara Procopio. Next at women's bantamweight, we have Carol Hossa versus Jocelyn Edwards. Hossa was on top most of round 1. Hossa was landing powerful leg kicks round 2. Hossa's nose was bleeding badly in round 2. The fight went the distance, and the judges scored a unanimous decision win for Carol Hossa. Next, at a catchweight of 160 pounds, we had Devontae Smith versus Justin James. Smith had the harder shots round 1. Smith was finding his range. Smith was in side mount in round 2. The doctors eventually stopped the fight because of a closed eye. Devontae Smith won by TKO doctor stoppage. Starting off the main card at light heavyweight, we had Mike Rodriguez versus Danilo Marquez. Marquez got a couple takedowns early. Marquez locked in the rear naked choke to win by submission. Next at lightweight, we had the rematch of Beneil Dariush versus Carlos Diego Ferreira. Dariush hurt Ferreira with a body shot round 1. Both guys were landing heavy shots. In rounds 2 and 3, Dariush went for takedowns, landing 5 total. The fight went the distance, and the judges scored it a split decision win for Beneil Dariush. Next at flyweight, we had Alexandra Pantoja versus Manel Kape. Pantoja was throwing low leg kicks early. Pantoja was the more active fighter in rounds 1 and 2. Kape was landing more in round 3. The judges scored a unanimous decision win for Alexandra Pantoja. Next at lightweight, we had Michael Johnson versus Clay Guida. Johnson couldn't keep it on the feet and was out wrestled by Guida. The fight went the distance, and the judges scored it for Clay Guida. In our co-main event at bantamweight, we had Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. Less than a minute into the fight, Corey Sandhagen landed a jumping knee that knocked out Frankie Edgar. In our main event at heavyweight, we had Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov. Overeem was shelling up early. Volkov at one point broke Overeem's nose. Overeem could never really recover or get off much of his offense. I thought the over 1.5 rounds was a good bet, but it didn't hit. Volkov won by TKO early into round 2. So now let's forecast the upcoming UFC 258, Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. Starting off the main card at middleweight, we have Maki Pitolo versus Julian Marquez. Pitolo is a Hawaiian mixed martial artist with the nickname Coconut Bombs. Pitolo was submitted by Darren Stewart, and Julian Marquez submitted Darren Stewart. Both guys won on Dana White's Contender Series. Marquez is the slight betting favorite. I think they will stand and trade blows, and Pitolo has the power to win by knockout, but I'm picking Julian Marquez. Next at lightweight, we have Jim Miller versus Bobby Green. Bobby Green won 3 out of his 4 fights in 2020, all by unanimous decision. Jim Miller has been in the UFC for a long time. Miller has 7 Fight of the Night bonuses and 2 Performance of the Night bonuses. Miller has the most bouts at lightweight and the most wins at lightweight. Miller has the 3rd most wins in the UFC history at 21 wins. Green's last 13 fights all went to decision. I like Jim Miller by submission, so I'm picking the underdog, Jim Miller. Next at middleweight, we have Kelvin Gastelum versus Ian Heinisch. Gastelum won his season of The Ultimate Fighter versus Uriah Hall in the finale. Gastelum has 2 Performance of the Night bonuses and 3 Fight of the Nights. Heinisch is a former one-time LFA middleweight champ. Heinisch has struggled against wrestlers. I like the over 2.5 rounds, and I'm picking Kelvin Gastelum. In our co-main event at women's flyweight, we have Macy Barber versus Alexa Grasso. Barber has been on a year-long hiatus after a knee injury and surprise major upset loss to Roxanne Modafferi. Grasso's just moved to flyweight with a unanimous decision win over Ji Young Kim. Barber has 3 wins and 1 loss in her last 4 UFC fights. Grasso has 3 wins and 2 losses in her last 5 fights. Grasso's the slight favorite, but I'm picking Macy Barber. In our main event at welterweight, and our main event for the welterweight championship, we have Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. Both fighters were former training partners and both have 5 wins in their last 5 fights. Usman is on a 16-fight win streak, 12 of which were in the UFC. Burns is on a 6-fight win streak. Usman wins almost every fight by unanimous decision by way of dominant wrestling. Usman won his season of The Ultimate Fighter. Usman is the welterweight champ with 2 successful title defenses. Burns has 4 Performance of the Night bonuses. I like the over 4.5 rounds, and I'm picking Kamaru Usman. Kyle's Fight Picks. In Kyle's Fight Picks, I have Julian Marquez, Jim Miller, Kelvin Gastelum, Macy Barber, and Kamaru Usman. Next episode will be a recap of UFC 258 and a forecast of the February 20th fight night, Curtis Blaydes versus Derek Lewis. So please subscribe so you never miss out on timely content. And until next time, fight fans, peace.